Hey everyone, this is a video to give you an introduction about our course. So this is an interdisciplinary studies course called Cultures of Sport, and we're going to cover sports and how it relates to many other topics like ethics and history and gender and race and all kinds of things. So this is our Blackboard page. I'm about ready to activate it as soon as I upload this video. So this is where it should take you to when you click on our course. And I'm going to post announcements here every week, so you should definitely check in there. Although those announcements will mostly be just reminders about things that are posted other places in the schedule and in the course. And so yeah, this is how it's organized. So the announcements will be here. This should be your default page once you click on the course. Getting started, I'll take you through in a minute. It should have everything you need to get started, all the introductory stuff, including the syllabus. And then the course schedule is here. Collaborate, I'll go over more in a minute. We're going to have just a few optional online discussion sessions. It's not via Zoom, it's via this program Collaborate through Blackboard, but it operates a lot like Zoom. So we're just going to have a few of those sessions, but I'll tell you more about that in a minute. And then we're going to be using Flipgrid pretty extensively. So here's a link to that, although it's also in Getting Started, and it's also linked each time you need to use it during the weeks. And then this will take you to the gradebook. Okay, and then I have it set up like this. So these are the Mondays, basically, in our courses. So week 1, since we're a late start course, week 1 is February 1st. And then it goes all the way down to May 3rd. And so for each of these weeks, I'll go back to this later. Everything you need to do that week is here once you click on that date. But first, let's go back to where it says Getting Started. That's where you should start too. Okay, so here under Getting Started, we've got the syllabus, which I'll go over quickly. A little guide here on how to use Flipgrid, and some more things about Flipgrid, and then a introductory assignment for Flipgrid down here. And then the video you're watching will be right up here above this. And I'll also link it to an email announcement I'm going to send out here in a little bit today. So yeah, here is the syllabus. Yeah, so the course is listed as a video conference course that is supposed to meet Tuesday and Thursdays from 11 to 12:15. That's pretty difficult for me right now. I'm sort of full-time teaching and full-time parenting, and I know it's probably difficult for a few of you. So most of the work for this course is going to be work that you do on your own, basically. The deadlines are still expected to be followed, so each week there will be a few things that are due. And I will, grade as such with those deadlines in mind. But you're not going to have to log on from that 11 to 12:15 time Tuesdays and Thursdays. I am going to hold a optional discussion session on Thursdays from 11 to 12:15, assuming everything works out in terms of the parenting and such. And I will try to remind you of that in many of my emails and announcements. And if you can't make it, you can't make it, and you won't be graded on it. But I know a couple people in this class expressed the desire to want to really get on face-to-face via technology and discuss some of these topics. So I do want to give us that opportunity to do that every week, but also give you ways to fulfill your grade requirements without having to do that if things come up where that doesn't work for you. So I'll remind you of that in a minute and show you how to do that, as long as I remember to do that. Okay, so office hours. I do have online office hours, but in general, just email me and I can answer your questions, or email me if you want to have like a face-to-face video chat, and we can totally do that. I don't just turn on a video classroom and then wait for someone to show up, because people tend not to be available under the exact time that I list. So basically I just say totally email me if you have a desire to do a video chat, and we can do that. Yeah, here's my email address. I try to put it in every announcement so it's easy for you to find. But yeah, emailing me is the best way to get a hold of me if there's anything you want to talk about or any questions. Read through some of this on your own if you care about the description and the learning outcomes. In general, with the teaching procedures, so there's going to be a mixture of readings and videos and documentaries under each week that you're expected to do. And then each week, there's almost every week at least, there's one of these Flipgrid discussion assignments. And yeah, please watch the Intro to Flipgrid video. But basically, it's a platform that's available through a web browser or on most smartphones that lets you just record these like 2-minute, 3-minute videos on a certain topic. And so that's what we're going to do in terms of holding a discussion in that way. So usually by the end of Thursday, there's a first post due on whatever the topic for the week is. And then by Sunday of that week, that same week, you're supposed to watch somebody else's post and film a new post of your own responding to one of the points that they made, agreeing, disagreeing, something like that. So yeah, there's no book to buy for the course. Technology, it's basically an online class in many ways, so you definitely need technology that will work for that. Email me if for some reason you think the technology won't work. The college probably still has grant money to help people with this. I know they definitely have computers of some sort, laptops of some sort, that they are loaning people to deal with the necessity for everyone, or pretty much everyone, to do online learning right now. So email me if you have a question about that. Okay, grades for the course. So I've just divided it up into 4 areas. There are these small assignments, which I might have forgotten to mention. So you have many of the weeks, but not all of the weeks. There's going to be some sort of short assignment, basically like me asking you questions about something you read or watched. So doing those will be 25% of your grade for the course. The Flipgrid discussions I've been talking about will be 25% of your grade for the course, and then 25% for a midterm and a final. In the midterm and final, I change them a lot, but basically it'll be some sort of knowledge stuff, like who is this person you read about, what's the event you read about, that kind of thing. But then a lot of it will just be sort of your opinion. In this course, and most of my history courses too, I'm just really interested in people learning a little bit, and then also trying to think deeply on some of the issues that are raised, and then giving me their own opinions. I'm sort of like a well thought out opinion. It's not like some sort of knowledge quiz where I want to make sure you've learned every little date or detail. I'm more interested in your thoughts on things. So I tend to give quite a bit of work, but I'm a fairly reasonable grader, I think. So here's our grading scale, attendance policy, basically in an online course. With everything going on in people's lives all the time, but especially right now, for this online course, just sort of staying caught up is your attendance policy. And it's totally understandable if you do get a bit behind, please reach out and let me know. But you just do have to catch up by the end of the course. So my best advice is to try to stay on track with the schedule every week. But if you do fall behind, feel free to reach out to me, and then just do a little bit at a time until you can catch up. But yeah, don't worry about that at all. I do have this late work policy posted here. And in general, let me know if you have a very good reason for not getting your work in, and then I will not, I guess we're going to say charge you the late work. I will not penalize you with that policy. There's academic honesty here. Basically, it means like don't plagiarize from someone else or from sources you find online. Be sure to write everything in your own words. I have a diversity and respect policy here. For our class, this might come up a bit, I suppose, just in that we will talk about controversial political subjects around, let's say, like sports and Black Lives Matter. What else? I don't know. Vietnam War protests. I don't know how controversial those are anymore. Sexual harassment, gendered violence, all kinds of things like that will come up. And so it's possible that we'll have some strong disagreements on a certain topic. And if we do, that's totally fine. Just try to keep our discussions respectable when we agree or disagree with each other. Tutoring Center. The Tutoring Center is doing online tutoring. And there are links here. You can just go to the North Shore website and look up Tutoring Center. They do a really good job in general. They have very specifically knowledgeable tutors these days, so please take advantage if you're struggling in any classes. Accessibility services. So yeah, this is basically if you need some sort of accommodation in this class or other class that you're taking, you see them at Accessibility Services first. You contact them, and then they send it. Here's their address here, if you can see it right there. And then they, I guess right now, currently, they fill out some paperwork for you and they email it to your instructors that tells us the accommodation that you need, and then we sort of sign it, and then we know what you need for the course. So I definitely recommend that. If you think you might benefit from some sort of accommodation, contact them. Just a few more things. So this preferred first name, this has been around for a few years. If you want all of your official paperwork, I say paperwork, but if you want your Blackboard, email, all the sort of official places where your name is listed at the college, if you want your first name to be different than what it is now, you contact the registrar's office and they can give you a form to fill out to change that. So definitely do that. And then we have this sort of thing, which I hope they keep around, but I guess it was set up with coronavirus in mind, called Here to Help. So click on that, and there's all kinds of resources in terms of technology, transportation, food insecurity, housing, all kinds of stuff. So check that out if that applies to you, or if you know someone else that might need help in one of these areas. More things about food insecurity here. I think there are resources at both places now, but definitely take advantage of that if that's an issue for you. And then I guess I went into this a minute ago. I think the content of this class is a little more tame than some of my other classes because I teach history, and history is awful and violent. But we do have like depictions of sexual assault, sexual harassment, and racism, among other things, in this class. And so basically, I try to be pretty clear on what things are, so hopefully you don't get caught unaware. But then, and then also I want to tell you that if anything is particularly difficult for you to deal with on a certain day, feel free to just not deal with it. Feel free to put it off for some other date, or if you just, if it's something that affects you very strongly and you just know that it's not going to be good for you to deal with that assignment, feel free to just email me and let me know and say hey, you don't have to give me personal details or anything, but just say, hey, it's not going to be good for me to do this particular assignment or this particular reading. Is it okay if I skip it? And I will just say yes. So there's that. Okay, if you have any more questions about this syllabus, definitely reach out via email, or we can set up a office hour video chat. Okay, so then this I go through on this Flipgrid video here. If you watch this, it tells you how to get started with Flipgrid. So that's everything on the Getting Started page other than this video, which will be posted there in a minute. Let's see, what else do you need to know? So yeah, course schedule is here. There's a couple details I'm still updating, but in general, this is what it looks like. So it tells you each week what you need to watch or read and what assignments are due. So it says complete Flipgrid introduction discussion board, found under Getting Started, complete sports fandom Flipgrid discussion board, and it's got the due dates here. And then we've got links to the things you're supposed to watch for week 1. The thing you're supposed to read will be posted under week 1. And then it just goes on like that throughout the semester. Tells you when spring break is, so on and so forth, so on and so forth. So I do have links all throughout here of things that are online. These should work, depending on what browser you're using. It might work easier or less easily. But everything that's linked here on the schedule is also under these links for each individual week. So if it's week, I don't know, whatever, if it's week 3 and you click on this article here and it doesn't pull up properly, definitely check by clicking on week 3 and using the link there and seeing if you can get it to display. But if you have trouble getting to any of these, please just let me know. So that's the schedule. Okay, at the top, before I forget, so it says optional discussion sessions will take place every Thursday from 11 to 12. Click the Collaborate link on Blackboard to log in or log on. So that's up here, right here. The Collaborate link is right here. So if you want to do one of these discussion sessions on Thursdays at 11, you'll click right here where it says Collaborate link to live discussion. This is also the link that you'll use if you do want to have a one-on-one office hour to discuss anything or ask a question or show me what's going on or anything like that. So this is the link to the online sort of video chat system. So you click on that. I'm wondering, do I have this set up? No, I don't. Good. And then, there's this unlocked course room here. And so I believe when I have it on, which I will, I don't actually, okay, good. I was I don't actually want it to start, so I'm being a little careful here. So when you click on it, it won't say exactly this because I don't believe you can create a session, but you'll click on it and then it'll bring up a window like this. and then I think you hit join course room to join the course. So I'll be doing that virtually every Thursday, and I'll let you know if I'm not doing it one Thursday. So I'll just sort of have a time that you can pop by and discuss what's going on for the week. So that's Thursdays at 11, but I am making it optional in that I'm not grading it. If you have something else you need to do, feel free to skip it or to schedule another time to talk about something if you want. It operates a whole lot like Zoom if you've been using Zoom for other classes, so I think you should be able to figure it out. Okay, what else? So then, let's just click on the different weeks. So week 1, hopefully you're watching this at the start of week 1. I will put this reminder about the discussion section on every week. I've got a couple sentences on every week telling you what we're doing that week. We're starting with sports fandom to talk about sort of what it means to you to be a fan, different types of being a fan, how being fans might have changed over time. One of these issues that I think is really interesting is that I think people used to be much more tied to their local teams, with the idea that, like, I'm not from Boston, I'm from Ohio, so say, like, I'm a fan of the Cleveland Browns, and it doesn't matter how miserable the Cleveland Browns are. It doesn't matter if the Cleveland Browns leave for a few years. That's me. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, and, I love my players when they're my players. If they leave to go to a different team, I don't love them anymore. So that's sort of an old school version of fandom. And then today, I think there are more people, at least, who are not tied to one team. They might be interested in, like, the stars in their league. They might be interested in the players on their fantasy team. They might be interested in certain players because you can watch games much more easily now, that kind of thing. So we're going to talk about that, but enough about that for now. So things to do for week 1. There's the introductory discussion board under getting started. So definitely do that if you haven't done it yet. And then there are these, 3 videos to watch. They're all fairly short, less than 7 minutes each. And then I'm posting a link to this in just a little bit here. It's something I'm scanning from a book. The Free Darko Manifesto. I don't know, I'll just tell you about it for a second. It is a sort of famous basketball blog from 10 years ago now, I think, called Free Darko. It was about Darko Milicic, who was is he Slovenian? He's the player that was drafted in front of LeBron. And so these basketball fans, sort of basketball nerds, started this blog called Free Darko to sort of celebrate and, talk about Darko and other basketball related things. So they wrote a few books on basketball that are pretty cool. And in it, they have their manifesto about fandom, which I want us to discuss this week. So that'll be posted pretty soon. And then, there's this sports fandom discussion board here. Okay, so here are the videos. The videos should just work by clicking on them. And then, here is our Flipgrid discussion board, the sort of first real one in week 1. And so with all of these, I have sort of questions for you to think about. I sort of tell you what you should read or watch before you record. So read through these. And then, watch the Flipgrid or how to Flipgrid video. But basically, you just hit this button here and record your response. And then once other people have recorded their responses, another part of your assignment. So it says record a video response by 11:59 on Thursday, and then a response to another student by 11:59 on Sunday. So you click on people's videos, you watch them, and then there's a button underneath their video to say respond, and you can record a video or type text in to respond to somebody else. So that's how it's going to work week to week. I think that's basically all you need. When we have the midterms and the finals, and they are listed here on the schedule, I believe. There we go. When we have the midterms and the finals, I will post them and I'll send out a message, and I'll also record videos sort of going over them, because that's a time when people have more questions. So that's how the course is going to progress. Reach out with questions at any time, and definitely feel free to stop by on Thursdays during this discussion session, or email me if you want to meet some other time.